What up, fam? On today's edition of You Did That, we're going to be honoring none other than the West Coast legend, the big dog, Snoop Dogg, the dog father himself. So let's get to it. We all know Snoop Dogg for his many contributions to the music game over the years. He's probably been one of the longest artists that we have still relevant in the game right now. Snoop Dogg came out big and was first heard on The Chronic by Dr. Dre. Backed by Death Row, he would become bigger than life, hit the tops of stardom. But we all know what goes up must come down. So here's where the You Did That section comes into play. When Snoop was with Death Row, which was backed by Interscope, he was larger than life. But after Tupac died, which he was a very close associate with, as we know, he left Death Row and went to No Limit with Master P. He went on to release 3 albums with No Limit. The last one was entitled The Last Meal, which was also released on Snoop Dogg's newly founded record label, Doghouse Records. Ever since that day, Snoop's record sales have declined massively. Up to that point, we had only seen Snoop in a few, I guess you could say, clout or viral moments. You had the murder, obviously, and you also had the Source Awards. I don't know of too many more. If you got some more before that, drop them in the comments section. When those sales went down, man, what that song say? They do anything for clout. They do anything for clout. Snoop began clout chasing like the best of them after them sales went down. We've seen nothing more from him than him being viral and being in the media, which is always going to happen because Snoop is always going to be Snoop no matter what. Everybody's going to be entertained by what Snoop is doing. Now, let me give him his just due, though. After that, he did have a few bangers, if you ask me. He had the song with, he had Beautiful. He had the song with Akon, and then he had Sexual Eruption too. That was kind of jamming. And then he had the song with R. Kelly. What was that? That's that or something? I don't know. But when he's not doing that, it's strictly clout chasing, man. And you gotta believe me. We've seen it from a lot more artists too, not just him. Look at Boosie, Lil Boosie. Yeah, he definitely clout chasing every chance he get. He already know what's up. He ain't even make it as far as Snoop, but he clout chasing though on a daily. Any type of exposure, it'll equal good exposure in the end if you use it right. And they've learned that. Now, people were doing this in the 90s, but it just wasn't such a big thing. Now with the social media and things like that, we have so many more advantages to take in this situation. Now, I don't want you to just take my word for it. You can think on your own. What's the last CD from Snoop you remember coming out? Now, he's still Snoop, but what's the last CD? What's the last song that everybody was on? You got to think about it, right? Okay, well, also, while you're thinking about that, think about this. At the time that you stopped hearing his music like that and stopped remembering it, do you not remember that that's when all the clout chasing started? He's dealt with many personal issues, but put them all out to get the clout. I can name a few for you, actually. Let's not forget about the Arnold Schwarzenegger issues that he brought up when he was going to battle for Tukey Williams, R.I.P. Tukey Williams. Oh, when Kanye West had beef with Drake, guess who got in and got that clout? Snoop Dogg. Yeah, that's when I actually noticed he was really chasing that clout, man, because he did that video on social media where he was talking about the song Drake made, Kiki, and saying how Drake made that song about Kim Kardashian. Let's not forget about 5 years ago when he painted his nails and had the French tips and all that going on. That was for the clout. He hate Trump now. But back in the game, he used to be chilling with him like that was his player partner. It's all for the clout, people. But, hey, you know what does happen sometimes? That clout will have a bad reaction, and it'll strike back on you. That's what happened when them 2-1 people was on his bumper. That 20, yeah, they was trying to see what that 20 do. He ain't want to know nothing about that, though. And then he had a little issue with Selena Powell, where she went on ahead and gave up the T on him. That was real weak of her. But anyways, he had that clout on him, and I'm sure he didn't like that. Next thing you know, he had to start posting about all wifey, and yeah, he had to become a good man. You know what I'm saying? He was on that One Woman Man after that. Y'all remember that song? He got on Iggy Azalea. What was that about, man? That was crazy. But then T.I. jump in, made him apologize. You know, he good at apologizing. Even when he went at Kim Kardashian, Kanye ended up wearing a Snoop shirt the next day, posted a picture of it, and then he was cool with it again, you know? And so he's real good with apologizing, which brings us to our next situation, the most current one. Gayle King interview where she was talking about Kobe Bryant cheating and everything like that, where everybody got on her at. Oh, Snoop went hard on her. He gave her the business. But guess what? It was all for the clout. Yes, man, I can't lie to y'all. It's the truth. It was for the clout. Because a few days later, everybody started getting on him. And guess what he did again? He ended up saying he apologized. You know, he said on Jada Pinkett show, he said, 2 wrongs don't make a right. Like, you took it all the way back then, man. How old are you, Snoop? You didn't know 2 wrongs don't make a right yet? All right, my bad. Snoop is doing it for the clout, man. He ended up going out there to Jamaica and becoming Snoop Lion, changing his name and doing his reggae thing. That was for the clout, man. Then he came back out here, and after that, he did a gospel CD. And guess what that was for? You guessed it, the clout. Now, let me play devil's advocate here. In the slightest of ways, we do understand that you do have to stay in these people's eyes. And it's also, it's the people's fault that it's like this, because if they wanted something wholesome, then you would have to give them something wholesome. But they really don't want nothing wholesome. So, I mean, in a way, this is what you have to give them. What I'm thinking is we need to be able to highlight some of the good things that people do. We know he got the football league, but then we also know he got the football show after it, you know? So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about the money, I guess you can say. And that's where we lose as a people, man. So we just got to get that right, man. But on this clout chasing blast, oh, Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg, hold up 1 second, man. You did that. You know what I'm saying? Peace.